Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is my very first video, so please go easy on me. This is just a basic infill on my nails. They've been on for about 2 or 3 weeks I think by this point. The only reason I'm really sort of changing them is because one of my nails pinged off, which is quite rare for me. But I'm just using my carbide nail bit, which is in fine. I think it's fine or medium, I'm pretty sure it's fine, and it's the round top safety bit, and I've got this on a medium speed, and I'm just gently going over the nail, almost like tickling the nail really, no pressure whatsoever, to take off some of the old gel and the glitter design. I haven't sped this bit up just to show you obviously how long it can take to get the old gel off. You don't want to be pressing hard, you don't want to be causing damage to the nail plate. So here there was the tiniest bit of lifting, so I'm just gently going over this with my drill, just above where the lift point was, just to sort of get rid of it, so that it's all fresh and clean, ready for when I put my new coat of gel on top. So I'm just speeding this bit up now while I do the rest of the nails. I'm not gonna lie, I keep forgetting that I'm recording, so sorry if my hand keeps going in and out of frame. I'll learn as time goes on, so apologies. So now I have removed all of the old design. I'm going to go in with this drill bit here. I use it for cleaning underneath the nails, I'm pretty sure that's what it's meant for, but today I'm also going to use it to go around the cuticles to remove any dead skin that is still on the nail plate, being very careful not to touch the cuticle or the skin near the nail plate because we don't want to cause any damage to live skin. We are just removing the dead skin, which will help the gel stick to the nail and prevent lifting. So once all of the dead skin has been removed, I just pick up that old paper towel and pop it in the bin. I think it's really important to pop a new one down just so that you don't have any sort of dust lingering and getting mixed in with the gel. I'm now just sanitising my hands using some 70% alcohol. This does also help to dehydrate the nail. And then I'm going to go in with a brush just to really make sure we've removed all that dead skin. So now it's time to measure up the nail tips so that I can replace the nail tip that popped off. As you can see, this nail tip that's on there is way too small. You can tell that because it's just not reaching the side walls, it's leaving a big gap, and the same happens with this one as well. If you have a little look, there you go, you can see that it's also too small. So I'm just showing you this very quickly. I will hopefully go into a bit more detail when I do another video, but I just wanted to quickly show you how I measure up my nail tips, and you can see that this one fits pretty much perfectly, so that's the one I'm going to use, and it's a size 6 stiletto tip. I really like these tips. The only downside, I suppose, is it doesn't have a well when you put the glue on, so it can get a bit messy, but as long as you're careful, then it works just fine. So I'm now going to apply the glue, pop the tip on the nail, making sure that I add some pressure to the centre of the nail, and then I'll make sure that those side walls are stuck down. You can see in a minute that I do add some extra glue to the little side corners, just because they're not going down properly, but you'll watch me do that now. Okay, so now that that nail tip is secured, I'm going to go in with these nail clippers and just create that pointy shape so that this nail matches the other nails. I'm only using these clippers because they just create that quick point. If I was doing like a square nail or a more rounded nail, then I would use the pink clippers that I did just quickly show you. I'm now going to use my 180 NSI file just to go around the edges and make sure that, like I said, it matches the other nails. I'm also going to blend in that line ever so gently where the tip meets the natural nail, being very careful not to actually file the natural nail, but to just blend it so there isn't an obvious line. And I'm going to use this with this NSI file and a much finer file as well. So I am now just buffing the nail with this white buffing block to get rid of any small ridges and remove any remaining shine from the nail, because gel does not stick to a shiny nail, so it's good to just gently use this. I know it looks like I'm being rough, but I promise you I'm really not. It's because I've sped the video up for you. So once I've done that, I'm just spraying again with the alcohol just to you know, clean my nails, keep them all nice and sanitised, and then I'm going to go in with my Millennium Nail Prep Dehydrator. I swear by this. It's so good. I've had it for quite a long time. You can probably see there's not a lot left in there. So I'm just popping this around the cuticle area where there's the new nail growth. And then I'm going to go in with my Bonder. I swear by this. It's really nice, really good. Works amazingly well. And I got this from Amazon, I think. And again, I'm just popping that in the same areas that I put the dehydrator. Now this is the nail primer. I want to say it's by Sina. I think it's by Sina. And I'm using a number 6 nail brush to apply this. I'm applying a really thin layer all over the nail. I'm also almost like brushing it in, but I'm sort of scrubbing it into the nail as well, just to make sure I've really covered it and given myself a really good base to make sure that the gel sticks to the primer properly and you don't get any lifting. So once the primer has been applied to all of the nails and you've cured each hand for 2 minutes under the UV lamp, I'm going to use this Sina UV gel in clear. I also sometimes use the pink. There's not a massive difference really, but this is the first one I picked up today. And I'm going to go back in with my number 6 brush and pop a thin layer to begin with over the nail, and then keep picking up slightly bigger beads to build up the nail. You want sort of, it's hard to explain, but I hope you can see that you want to build up the centre of the nail and where the stress point is, so that it's, you know, it's harder to damage or break that nail, but you do also want it to have a natural curve. So hopefully when I get further into the video, I'll show you a close-up of what I mean by that natural curve. So here's a little trick for you. I know it looks bizarre. I learnt this from another YouTuber. If you pop your thumb or any of the nails that you're doing upside down for literally a matter of seconds, you let gravity do its work and it pulls the gel to the centre of the nail. Again, just building up that stress point. So I'll show you a close-up now, and I hope you can see there is a natural curve, and the amazing thing about this gel is that it's self-leveling, so when you get to the end there won't be a lot of filing to do, and now we're just going to cure for 2 minutes and move on to the rest of the nails using exactly the same process. Okay, so I have now finished using the builder gel on these nails, built them all up to exactly the right thickness, and I'm just going to remove the tacky layer so that I can then go in with my file again and just reshape the nails around the edges, so around the side walls, just making sure they're all roughly the same shape. I do this now rather than at the beginning, because otherwise I find I end up doing it twice and it just seems a bit pointless to me. So this is the colour that I'm using on my nails today. It's brand new, never used it before, and I did do this just straight onto the natural nail. I did start to think that maybe I should have done it on top of maybe a white base or a black base. It'd be interesting to see what the colour would look like if I did that, but I'm gonna apply, I think I applied 3 or 4 coats of this in the end. Between each coat I cured under the UV lamp for 2 minutes. So after 3 coats, that's what the nails look like, very opaque and very pigmented in the end. I then went in with my no wipe top coat by Elite 99 and popped this all over each individual nail, then went on to cure again for another 2 minutes. The great thing about this no wipe top coat, it does, well, it does what it says on the tin. You don't have to wipe off the tacky layer, there is no tacky layer. Okay, so for me, this is the most exciting bit about doing my nails, is the decoration. So I'm using my Born Pretty stamping plate. This is a BPL 007 if you're wondering, and this is a new design. I haven't used this design on this plate yet, but I'm going to do some stamping on I think just 2 of the nails using this Born Pretty stamper. That's the Born Pretty scraper there, and I also use Born Pretty stamping polish as well. I really like Born Pretty, if you hadn't noticed. The reason I use this is because I've tried loads and loads of different ones and they've never worked. Born Pretty, every time I've used one of their products, it's come out perfectly. I'm not going to lie, it takes a little bit of practice, but once you get the hang of it, the results are so worth it. So it may take you 2, 3, 4 attempts, but it's worth it. So as you can see there, I sort of rolled the stamper onto the nail, which helps place the design on evenly and you don't get any smudges, and it keeps the design quite sharp. There are other ways to apply it, but that for me is just the easiest way of doing it. I really make sure that I wipe off my stamping plate between each time that I use it, just to make sure that the design can be as clear as possible for each time that I use it. So right at the end I go in with another layer of the no wipe top coat, and here is the finished result. I'm really pleased with these. I love the colour, very glitzy, very glam, and I hope you enjoy it too.